Mic check, test 1, 2, 3. Mic check, test 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Are we fine?
I gotta go to.
Can we record this on there and then run it back at the halftime since we aren't doing a halftime show, the interview?
Hang on.
If we can't cut in and.
Now. Because I forgot the broadcast stuff.
We're live on YouTube right now.
Not yet. It's some other crap. It's autoplay crap.
On YouTube? Well, just let's not go live in the stadium.
Yeah, hang on. Go back.
I have to put my sunglasses back on, Tanner.
I don't know how the recorders do it when I put like two of those on them in the field.
Guys, want us behind you going, yeah.
Sure.
Trying to get the camera. Okay. Okay, it's fixed now.
To the game.
Okay, you can go live now.
On the big board?
Hang on. Yeah, I just had to put the right thing up.
It looks like we're going to get a little bit of free football time in Tennessee. 38-38, Georgia, Tennessee. A 43-yard field goal missed right before the end of regulation.
That's right. We're going to extra time, overtime here in football. And we just quickly want to plug, if you're out here in the plaza, make sure you stop by the Gridiron Grill to get your tailgater trio, ribs, pulled pork, and sausage while it lasts.
Those ribs are incredible. It is pork and pigskin. You can't have the pigskin without the pork, so make sure you stop by one of our vendors today and get that hot, fresh, delicious pork for dinner tonight.
Well, we've also got another game that we're getting some free football for in West Virginia. They have officially ended the fourth quarter there. Pitt and West Virginia, they're tied 24-all heading to overtime.
We have another game going into free football. That's right, here at Cool Today Park. We couldn't have asked for a better second slate of games. Love to see some close ones. Xavier, thanks for coming out from ABC 7 today. We've had a great time with all of you. We're going to watch a little bit more football and then bring a special guest on. Let's go.
Mic check, test 1, 2, 3.
So this will be, so as soon as
Am I good sitting where I am, or do I need to adjust?
okay, is frame good, Tanner? Well, oh yeah.
I'll take one from you.
Hey, don't spill too much of the beer.
Right? You almost put this whole beer for
Can we get
a free football.
Can we get one for Coach Wood?
I'll take one. There we go. Hey.
I didn't even know we had those until last night. I came back from Venice and I had this wagon full of stuff that was in my office to bring down here. And I see this big bowl of footballs and I'm like, oh, okay.
When you're on site, you gotta start throwing them in the stands.
So the thing is, like, we had baseballs 2 years ago when we did a Savannah Bananas game. And they sent me down with like 2 boxes full of those baseballs just like that.
And you got rid of them all there?
Yes.
Well, up here, yeah. Cool. So already started recording, so it is recording, but maybe we'll just run back to it whenever.
So sit right here. Is that fine?
Yeah.
All right.
Let me get this.
And the premise, we're
out
gonna
of the
go
way.
through scores. What do you want?
So I'm actually going to ask you about the Booker season.
Okay.
Just how you all
Is this
are.
yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know who that was.
Okay. Is this one yours?
No.
Okay.
I'll ask you about the season, just a game last night in particular. Even though you won 42-0, what are some things that you still would like to see the team continue to improve upon? Do you mind if I ask you about Coach Bill?
No, I actually want to start with it.
Yeah.
I
wanted to.
30 years of service.
I wanted to. I just wanted to make sure you were okay with that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Everything is done for the school, the community, and I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna be a defensive guy who's important.
Oh, hold on. I was moving the wrong thing. There we go.
Not quite. It's not quite level. Like that.
Oh, the other direction.
I know I'm saying it's not level. I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
A little more this way. Sorry, a little bit back. I think that's actually
Cool.
If these games do finish up during the interview, I might fit in the final scores during the interview with Coach, and that's fine.
You got it pulled up there?
Yes.
All right. Good call. You guys ready?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead.
You're good, Andy?
Yeah.
All right, you're good whenever.
It's rolling and recording. Yeah.
All right. 3, 2. We are back at the inaugural Pork and Pigskin College Football Festival here at Cool Today Park. It's been a great day here today. Thanks to everybody who's came out in attendance. Thanks to the Braves for putting on a great event. And you never know who's going to show up. We have a special guest joining us, making his way all the way from northern Sarasota, Coach Carlos Woods with the Booker Tornadoes. Coach, thanks for coming down.
Thank you for the invite.
Before we even get started with any of the Booker Tornadoes' current football program, with what's happening with the season this year, news broke late last night, early this morning about the passing of head coach, longtime head coach at Booker.
I'm going to pause you guys just 1 second. Sure.
Yep.
Now talking to your mic.
3, 2.
Sorry about
How was that working before? Because like I could hear myself before. Like
Yeah. I think it must just gotten flipped when maybe you set it down because it's just a push thing. That's all I could, yeah. Sorry.
no. When I started the intro, I could literally hear myself in the mic. That's
Oh,
the
weird.
yeah.
His mic is picking up you.
Okay.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Now, how will this re-air? Because I want to be able to put it out to social media as well.
So we'll rerun it back on the board at halftime, and then we'll have the video, and I can send it to Xavier or you
Yeah.
or whoever.
Okay.
Make sure you guys get it.
Okay. Can you get a still shot of us real quick?
Yeah, I
Like, that would be great. Because I can say, hey, tune in, later on tonight. I can post it.
Oh,
for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
It may take us a minute to get the video to you but maybe not as long since we're recording this.
Perfect. Thank you.
YouTube takes a minute sometimes.
No worries. All good. All good.
I can just send you the link
That's perfect.
to the
Yeah.
And I'll still get you the video when I can get you the video, but I'll send you the link so others can watch it tonight.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Okay.
Hang on real quick, sorry. I just want to make sure
Okay.
it's live.
This Georgia game could go final before
Do not take us live.
Who's up?
Recording this.
Tennessee. They settled for a field goal, but they got forced to a field goal. Georgia's on the 1 yard line on 2nd and goal.
Oh, it's over with.
All right.
Georgia's so big up front offensively.
Yep. Whenever.
They can just fall forward for that yard.
Ready when you guys are.
All right, let's give it one more go. All right, we are back at the inaugural Pork and Pigskin College Football Festival here at Cool Today Park in Northport. Thank you to everybody who's came out here today, fans in attendance. Thank you to the Braves for putting on a great event. And you never know who's going to show up on days like this. And we're pleased to have a special guest with us now, the head coach of the Booker Tornadoes football program, Carlos Woods. Coach, thanks so much for making the trip down.
Thank you, Xavier, for the invite.
Absolutely. Before we even begin talking about the Tornadoes and what you guys accomplished last night and how this season's gone, news broke late last night and early this morning about the passing of longtime Booker head football coach Fred Gilmore. Let me just begin by asking, how are you and everyone at the school doing in wake of this news?
It's a somber feeling. We were excited to get that win last night, but when news broke, I wanted to make sure we did our part by closing out that win. With Coach being a part of the community, being a part of that school for 30-plus years, his fingerprints are all over that school and that community. And with him being a defensive-minded head coach, me being a defensive-minded head coach, it was very important for us to get that shutout last night.
What do you believe his lasting legacy at Booker High School and the Sarasota community is? We know what he did as a coach. We know how many lives of athletes he impacted, that he changed. But this man was basically a trailblazer in the northern Sarasota and Newtown and Booker communities.
Oh, you're thinking about a man that had an insurmountable impact in the community. I have Terrence Jones, one of his, legends on staff as our running back coach, and just the impact that he had on Terrence's life. And you can see Terrence, how he's raising his son and what he's doing with his family is a direct reflection of Gilmore pouring into his life.
As you all continue to go forward with this season, I can imagine that the stories are just going to continue to pour out. But when it comes down to the young athletes, not even just your football team that you're coaching, because you're also the athletic director at Booker as a whole, when it comes down to those student athletes and the students as a whole at Booker High School and the Sarasota community for that matter, what do you want them to know about Coach Gilmore?
That his legacy will never die as long as I'm a part of this program. I'll do everything I can to make sure we honor him and we make him proud, from a program standpoint, from a team standpoint, playing with discipline, and just everything that we do, we want to be a positive reflection of what he instilled in his players, in the community, and we just want to continue to honor that in our play.
Now let's segue into some football, because you mentioned him being a defensive guy offline here. You all won last night over Naples in a 42-0 shutout. And I could just see the energy from the clips because, of course, we had you guys on last night as a part of our Friday night game night sportscast on ABC 7 News at 11 on Fridays, and I could just see the energy on the sidelines. There was a young man who had an interception, and I saw him come back to the sideline, and I could just see the both of you just chest bumping each other.
Yes, absolutely. Very happy for Keyshawn. We tell those guys all the time, if you just trust the process, we care about you more than just football players. If you just trust the process, follow the blueprint, and you're going to have some success. And oftentimes, they're teenagers, right? They're going to have pushback. They're going to have moments where they want to be independent and do things on their own. And but we have a phenomenal group You know, those guys are unselfish. We asked those guys to learn multiple positions, and we cross-trained those guys. And we were a little short in on the back end, and so he had to move to positions, but he had success at that position. And you could see he had a fumble recovery, and he had that big interception. So I just wanted to celebrate that moment with him because he has unselfish play. He's one of those guys that he's been a grinder for the last 3 years in our program, and he's really starting to reap the benefits of his labor.
And for those who don't understand about Joel Morris, your quarterback, he can really spin it. I saw a touchdown pass he threw last night where he hit his receiver right in the breadbasket, and it was just impressive all the way around. Many didn't know what to expect from this Booker team coming into this year. You lost a lot of seniors last year. Mm-hmm. You had some departures that happened in the offseason beyond that as well. But it seems like they have just picked up this ball, and they have just kept running with it from where things went last season with the trip to the Final Four, and they just look destined and determined and like they have the hunger in their eyes to want to go back and finish the job.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we always address that elephant in the room, you know, talking about those few plays that cost us that game. And we've addressed those, and we continue to talk about, hey, what can we do to get better every single day? We want to continue to stack those good days. You know, it's one thing when you win. A lot of that stuff, those details get swept under the rug. But when you lose, it illuminates exactly what you need to work on. So, you know, there's lessons that you take away from moments like that, like a loss in Reigns, and we've been able to use that as fuel to propel us. You know, we knew the offense was going to have some success at some point, but it takes offense much longer than it does defense because it's all about timing, it's rhythm. You know, it's all those guys being on the same page, and finally it clicked last night. So we were excited to see that for those guys and happy for them.
Now, although you won in a 42-0 shutout, I know that many out there would say, all right, well, that was a perfect ball game. Coach, I know that there has to be some things from the ball game that you're going to go back and you're going to look at and say, okay, yes, we won in a big shutout, but there's still some areas we can improve upon, only to continue to go towards the goals that you have set for what you ultimately want this season to end up being.
You're absolutely right. Praise to my staff. We take no days off. Like, we're at this deal full tilt. The players went home last night, and we stayed as a staff probably until about 11 o'clock in the field house, just talking about the adjustments that we need to make with the Lely game moving forward. Just cleaning up special teams, just cleaning up footwork and technique, and how we can put guys in different spots to help them be successful, which will overall help our team be successful. So we're constantly trying to push the envelope. We're constantly trying to find ways to make adjustments that will help us get to the ultimate goal.
You mentioned the field house, and I'm glad that you did because the grand opening for the field house was just about 2 weeks ago. How does it feel to have that officially underway?
Oh, it's amazing. You know, you know, before we moved into the field house, everyone was like all over the place as far as like, you know, I'm talking to the band. I'm like, just stick with me, okay? We need you guys to be down on this end because at some point when we open the field house, we're going to exit this way onto the field. And everyone was asking me, well, why is the band way down there? And I'm just like, just wait. Once we open the field house. So it was great to celebrate with the band last night. It was great to move into the field house finally, you know, have the ribbon cutting ceremony. Big praise to everyone that had a hand in it, from, you know, our superintendent, our school board, the contractors, everybody, man. They've really been pushing for us to get this deal off the ground. So to see that come to fruition and actually be in the space and come out for our game against Naples, it's been a phenomenal feeling. Those guys are really, really happy to be there.
Now, you're 3-1 to begin this season, but I know that it's so much bigger for you all than just what you're doing on the field and even just what the guys are doing in the classroom, because there are some great things happening there too, and we'll touch on that in a moment. But you've been spending the afternoon out at Booker as there's been a big rec football league series of games that have been happening out, and I can imagine that some of the players have been out there too. And I bring that up because just explain, if you can, how important it is for these guys to be out in the community and to be of service the way that they are.
Absolutely. What we try to do is expose our guys to have an impact, not only on the field, but in the classroom. Be a role model to the people in your community. You know, a lot of these youth football players, they look up to our student athletes. So it's important for our guys to be there with them, you know, just whenever they can, just to serve them, just to say, hey, we were in your shoes once before. Because a good amount of our players played for both of those youth leagues that utilize our facility. So it's great to have those guys out there. It's great to interact with those youth players, and just to see our guys go out there and see the youth players' smiles on their faces just to say, hey, that's so-and-so or that's so-and-so. And, they're going to blah, blah, blah school, and just letting those guys know you can do it too. Whatever you set your mind to, you can accomplish as well.
You pretty much just answered my next question, but I'm still going to ask it. Do you believe that the young football players on these rec teams, like the Sarasota Seminoles, like the New Manatee Broncos, and teams like that, do you believe they understand all of the sacrifices that are being made from folks outside of their organizations to help make these games come together the way that they are?
Oh, absolutely. I think all of those students have a good understanding of, all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Both organizations have great leadership at the top. They're never going to they're never going to leave any of those children behind, as far as like they're going to make sure that all those kids are getting home, making sure, hey, they have something to eat at night. So hats off to both of those organizations, because they go above and beyond to make sure every child is taken care of within their organization.
Being joined here at the inaugural Pork and Pigskin Festival at Cool Today Park in Northport by Booker High School head football coach Carlos Woods. We got some games that have actually gone final since we began this interview for you. Georgia going into Tennessee, they have pulled off the win, coming back and winning in overtime. The final score 44-41. And West Virginia completing the job in overtime against Pitt, winning 31-24. So congratulations to those two teams, and congratulations to me, because I'm perfect on my picks so far today. So thank you guys for getting business done. Coach, I want to take it to college for a second if I can, because one of the things that you spoke about at the Suncoast Gridiron Media Day back in August was about the amount of commitments that you already have within your program. That was more than a month ago when that happened. How many more commitments have you been able to see that have grown since that time period?
We're still at the same number, but we have guys that are not committed that have aspirations of being early enrollees. So we've worked with our guidance counselors, we've worked with our college and career department, and all of those guys are on track. The ones that have expressed interest, they're on track to be done by December. So this is the first time ever at Booker High School we're actually going to have a group of seniors that are going to be done in December and eligible to go into whichever college they choose to come January.
That's just absolutely remarkable. When it comes down to the classroom curriculum, do you see the guys usually when you're on these bus trips or after practice, do you see the guys huddling up, doing their homework together, doing what they can to help each other out, not just to make sure that they're staying eligible academic-wise to be able to play, but to make sure that they're simply handling business in the classroom because that's what they're supposed to do as a student?
Absolutely. But, I tip my hat off to everyone that's in the building, all the teachers, the tutors. It's all hands on deck. We have people, teachers that are committed, volunteering their time. Hey, who needs, help with foreign language? Who needs help with Algebra 2? And they're literally volunteering their time to make sure these student athletes are prepared and they are on top of their books.
Coach, what are the other things that you would like your team to continue to improve upon as a whole and just as a program as you continue to go forward throughout the rest of this season? Week 4 just finished up. Week 5 is upon us. So we're nearly halfway through this thing already. It's hard to believe that the time has already been going that fast, but the time for the postseason will be here before you know it. But I know for a fact you all are not even looking that far ahead just yet.
No, all of our focus is completely on Lely. We just did the film exchange with them, so we're in the midst of breaking that down. We'll have the full report for our student athletes come Monday, so they'll get their playbook and they'll have an understanding of the game plan and what we want to do as far as attacking them defensively and what we want to do in all 3 phases, pretty much. So our coaching staff is phenomenal. They do a good job collaborating and putting the game plans together, and that's it. Our whole focus is just going 1-0 the next week.
You have a lot of football experience from playing-wise to coaching-wise. You were a part of the Indianapolis Colts staff that won Super Bowl 41, but you're in your first year as a head coach with this program, but you've been there for the past few seasons on the coaching staff.
Yes, sir.
I asked you this last month. I'll still ask it to you now. Since we're in the thick of the season, what have been some of the biggest challenges for you as you have gone from just being a member of the staff to being the lead man at the helm?
Really the delegation part, where it's just like for me, I was more comfortable working behind the scenes and getting everything done that was necessary for us to be successful. And now I'm out front more and just really divvying up everything that's on my plate and asking for help, getting comfortable asking for help and saying, hey, I need your help handling this assignment, or I need your help logging in the stats for max prep. Some of those things that I was comfortable doing, where it's just like you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So it's like just kind of working through that, being in this position, excited about being in this position, and just growing as it goes.
And when you look around the community, obviously Booker is first and foremost for you. But when you look around the community, I know you see all of the great football that the teams are playing across Sarasota County, Manatee County, resurgences of so many sort. Coach Ace Sanders in Bayshore, they're out to a phenomenal start. Coach Kurt Bradley in Southeast, they have completely turned that thing around from where it was 2 years ago. But I would say that this resurgence started with Booker just a few years ago, because just in 2022 alone, Booker was not necessarily one of the hot tickets in the area. And then 2023, you guys took a big step forward, making it to the playoffs. 2024, not only going to the playoffs, but making it all the way to the state semifinals game. And now you're out to a strong start right now. How does it feel to just see all of the great football play that's happening in this area and so many of these young student athletes being put on display the way that they are?
First of all, thank you for acknowledging that. We don't beat our chest about past accomplishments. Like I mentioned before, it's all about just going 1-0 for the week. But just proud to be a representative of the 941. We're doing a phenomenal job across the board. We're not afraid to play top-notch competition. You're talking about like programs like Manatee going out of state, playing competition in Georgia and so on and so forth. You're talking about what Ace is doing. My son played quarterback for Ace, part of his Blitz program. And just what he's doing, just pouring into that program over at Bayshore. And he has those guys rolling, even at Sarasota High, just with AMP, getting that deal back on track and seeing them, on the winning side of things. So it's great to be a part of this 941 coaching community, and just excited for us all to make some noise heading into the playoffs.
Coach, my final question for you is simply going to be this. As you continue to go about this journey that you're on at Booker, not only as the head football coach, but as the athletic director, what is the message that you want folks in the community to understand about what it is that you all are building? And I ask that because this program is taking steps forward, not just the football program, but the athletics at Booker as a whole. Taking the leap that you did, going out and hiring the volleyball coach that you did.
Angie Bird, phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Yes. Hiring Vince Cherry as the boys basketball coach.
Another slam dunk.
These are phenomenal hires, and these are big moves that are being made. And I'm not so sure that folks in the Newtown or Sarasota community have been used to, at least in past years, Booker being able to make such splashy hires. But we're seeing it all across different schools in both Manatee and Sarasota counties. But what is the message that you want the community to know about what it is that you are building?
Well, first and foremost, it starts with our principal. Her message to us when we had our teacher in service was boots on the ground. And we're a unified front, and we're all going through this together, arm in arm. And that's really what our beacon is in the athletic department. We're all one big family, arm in arm. We're working together. We're in this together. Let's build this together. And my whole mindset is family first approach. And everyone's on board, completely on board with us being successful. If you come out to our volleyball games, the football players are there cheering them on. Basketball players are there cheering them on. You come to the football games, we were able to pass out some shirts, and all the student athletes get in for free to our games. And it's just beautiful to see that everyone's on the same page.
Final thing I have for you, we got a big Florida team and a big matchup tonight, SEC Showdown, LSU and Florida. Gators, they need to get a big win here, Coach, but LSU, they're the number 3 ranked team in the nation. Who do you have winning that one?
I would want to go with the in-state deal. Florida needs a rebound, but LSU is tough. So I'm going to go with LSU tonight.
Well, you guys have been hearing me all day. I've been going with the Gators all day. I'm going to keep going with the Gators here. I just believe that they're going to show some real resiliency tonight. We'll see DJ Lagway finally start to show what he's really made of. It's been a disappointing start for him so far, and he was one of the big quarterback names that everyone was looking forward to coming into this season. Their backs are up against the wall. Their coach could be coaching for his job for all we know. I expect the Gators to respond. Being joined here by head coach Carlos Woods of the Booker High School Tornadoes football program. Coach, thanks so much for joining us this evening. You've been tuned in to the inaugural Pork and Pigskin College Football Festival here at Cool Today Park in Northport. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We've got more for you in just a moment.